We should have what we call a developmental state, where the government sets the enabling environment, creates the policies, and allows the market to function efficiently. So it's not every man for himself without regulation. That is an extreme form of capitalism. And what happens is that that produces only wealth for a very few, whereas the majority of the country will remain poor, which is the situation in Nigeria today. I recommend that, you see, I know that no country can develop beyond the competence or incompetence of its political leadership. And so it is important that Nigerian citizens elect a new breed of leaders. Our career political class has failed. Our career politicians have failed us. That is why Nigeria is now the poverty capital of the world. We have the greatest numbers of people living in absolute poverty of any country in the world. And that makes me very sad. And that is precisely why I am running for president. The fact that everybody is there is not a reason why the president should sign it if he feels, maybe based on advice that he has received, there is some parts of this agreement that do not quite accord with Nigeria's national interest. He is right to wait. Let me tell you something. China negotiated with the WTO for 15 years before they signed the WTO treaty, the World Trade Organization treaty. Russia negotiated for 19 years before they signed. So I think it's important for a country to look at its own national interest, and this is what I have been advocating for many years, that Nigerian countries, Nigerian governments just go and sign international agreements without looking at their own national interest. So I don't see any problem. I mean, if there is something there that is not quite right, the Nigerian government has the right to take a second look at it and to say, we request that this thing be looked at in our own national interest. My government is going to create a major venture capital fund that will invest in new businesses to stimulate the economy and to help to create jobs. So these are some of the very important changes that we will be making. We will fundamentally overhaul the educational system of Nigeria to make our economy stronger. The educational system will be reformed in such a way that those who graduate from secondary schools and universities are focused on skills. So the educational system will now be a skills-based educational system. This helps to create more jobs in an economy. We have 30 million people unemployed, and that's terrible. We will have a clear worldview for the Nigerian state, a clear economic philosophy. And we will define it, we will explain it to the people of Nigeria, and we will explain the practical consequences of that philosophy. We run a democracy, and there are elections, and citizens of Nigeria have every right to contest for those elections. Now, if there are those of them who are contesting because they are just seeking relevance or seeking an appointment, I'm not one of such people. I have a vision which I have set forward, and I'm running on that vision, that Nigerians will buy into that vision so that we can set the citizens of Nigeria free from poverty, free from insecurity, free from the vice grip of the political class that has failed us and brought us to where we are today. We need a fundamentally different type of political leadership in Nigeria. We need a generational shift based not just on age, but also on ideas, based on track record, based on accomplishment. So that's what I'm running for. I'm not, that's some other people may have that issue, not me. The land use charge in Lagos. Well, I think it's a matter that a lot of people have weighed into it. Many people in Lagos are complaining that the charges are excessive, and I think it's for the government now to take a second look as to whether or not these complaints are founded. This is the principle of participatory governance, so we hope that it will be applied in this particular circumstance. Our government will be an accountable government. It will be a transparent government. So everything will be open in terms of the finances of Nigeria, and there will be very little room. It is when you have secrecy, when you have opacity, that's when corruption thrives in the government. In my government, we will open the accounts of the government for the people of Nigeria. So you're not going to be having secret financial transactions that the people do not know about. We will bring transparency, and we will use technology also to manage our finances in such a way that they will become even more transparent.